threat landscapes and moral and ethical issues. Despite ethical and moral concerns about privacy, the threat landscape must remain one of our top concerns in the informational security field. In the threat landscape, there are many different kinds of threats. There are spam, worms, trojans, and the list goes on. Even though there are antivirus programs that will protect you against viruses, you have to keep in mind that the program only prevents the virus. One last important thing you should consider is that the attacker is always one step ahead. And as such, it is very difficult to figure out where the attack originated and how to stop it. Moral and ethical concerns regarding the privacy of others on networks. Under the rules of the ECPA, Electronic Communications Privacy Act, companies may also electronically monitor their employees. Employers can tap email and other network communications. They can look through employee electronic files and eavesdrop on phone conversations. Employees who do repetitive tasks on computers can be monitored for speed and accuracy. These practices may protect companies from employee dishonesty. They can also create extremely stressful working conditions. So, when should companies have to disclose intrusions? I'd refer you to the SEC on the requirements for reporting on cyber attacks, but there are reasons why companies may choose not to disclose cyber incidents, said Caitlin Hayden, a National Security Council spokesperson. First, they may not be aware that their networks are being compromised. Second, they may know, but believe that disclosing information will negatively impact the confidence of their customers or shareholders. Only a limited number of companies disclosed cyber attacks occurring in 2012. CNBC found after review of 2012's SEC filings. That's even though the SEC specifically asked companies to reveal significantly damaging attacks and guidance the commission issued to companies in the fall of 2011. The volume of disclosures to the SEC doesn't bear out the picture painted by the U.S. intelligence community of massive economy-draining cyber threats. U.S. officials say the cyber attacks are happening, but that companies may not want to reveal the damage they suffered due to concerns about possibly scaring off potential or existing customers, damaging their stock value, or incurring potential legal liabilities. So, when should companies have to tell the general public, and who should they tell initially? As a threshold matter, federal securities law does not explicitly impose an affirmative duty on issuers to disclose data security breaches or failed attempts to breach a company's data security. There is no specific line item in any SEC disclosure document, rule, or regulation that specifically requires such disclosures. In this regard, federal securities law does not require the disclosure of this or other information solely because it might be material. If the company is listed on the NASDAQ or the NYSE, New York Stock Exchange, it may be required to provide notice of the event to the trading markets as appropriate. For example, companies listed on the NASDAQ stock market are required to disclose material news promptly to the public through any Regulation FD compliant method or combination of methods. For these purposes, material news is defined as information that would reasonably be expected to affect the value of a company's securities or influence investors' decisions. Based on these requirements, a company that experiences a material data security breach may have an obligation to notify the markets of this development if it concludes that investors would believe the information to be material. Different kinds of attacks. Exploit kits. Exploit kits install malware on unsuspecting users and are sold as commercial products in what has become a cottage industry of cyber malfeasance that law enforcement finds extremely difficult to contain. Even when kit creators are arrested, malicious code remains in the ether, waiting for another cyber criminal to exploit it even more. SQL injection attacks. An SQL injection attack consists of insertion or injection of an SQL query via the input data from the client to the application. A successful SQL injection exploit can read sensitive data from the database, modify database data, insert, update, delete, execute administration on the database, such as shut down the DBMS, recover the content of a given file present on the DBMS file system, and in some cases, issue commands to the operating system. A computer virus is a malware program that, when executed, replicates by inserting copies of itself, possibly modified, into other computer programs, data files, or the boot sector of the hard disk. When this replication succeeds, the affected areas are then said to be infected. Viruses often perform some type of harmful activity on infected hosts, such as stealing hard disk space or CPU time, accessing private information, corrupting data, displaying political or humorous messages on the user's screen, spamming their contacts, logging their keystrokes, or even rendering the computer useless. Trojan horses. A Trojan horse in computing is generally a non-self-replicating type of malware program containing malicious code that, when executed, carries out actions determined by the nature of the Trojan, typically causing loss or theft of data and possible system harm. The term is derived from the ancient Greek story of the large wooden horse, used to trick the defenders of Troy into taking warriors concealed in the horse into their city. The use of this name references how computer Trojans often employ a form of social engineering, presenting themselves as routine, useful, or interesting in order to persuade victims to install them on their computers. Top 5 hacking countries. Attacks occur around the world. However, the number one country to commit cybercrimes is China. The Chinese are responsible for 41% of all hacker attacks. The United States has launched an investigation into this before, and the Chinese government seems to be responsible for some of the attacks. The Chinese government denies that they have committed any crimes. In the United States, it's estimated that out of 10 attacks, 1 attack has originated from the U.S. Turkey comes in third at an average of 4.7% of the entire worldwide cybercrimes that occur. Russia comes in fourth place with a whopping estimated 5%. Taiwan is responsible for 3.7% of all attacks. What's a cloud server, and is it safe? A cloud is a term used where you can store data. Before, the only way to store data was on hardware storage, CD, or etc. Now everyone can go browse the internet, and you will see pictures, videos, and music services available. The question is, where does the music or videos come from? For example, if you're watching a movie on Netflix, the movie is not on your computer, so the movie is in a place, storage, called the cloud. Benefits of cloud. Clouds are very useful when traveling or just to back up your files from your computer. When having files on a cloud, another advantage is the accessibility to your files from multiple devices. When listening to music on services such as Pandora or Spotify, you also don't use up your device storage. Warning about clouds. There are a couple things that should be considered when using any cloud services. When using any cloud service, you should keep in mind that your internet usage will rise and additional costs may incur if you exceed your service provider's limit. However, you should be cautious that nothing is safe if it's stored on a cloud. Your data can be stolen if a hacker figures out a way to breach the system. How can you protect yourself from hackers? The first thing that you should do is install some sort of antivirus software. You will be at risk if you browse the web unprotected because there are slick hackers out there that hide their viruses in hidden files. Downloading music, videos, or any file that can harm your computer if not well protected. Antivirus programs such as Avira, Bitdefender, and Panda Antivirus are 3 of many highly recommended. It is also very important to always update your antivirus program software. Every day there are many new threats, and the only way to protect yourself against them is by staying up to date. Whenever you download a file from the web, make sure that you're installing a trusted software and not an infected file. Most importantly, avoid shady websites that can potentially harm your computer. Are hackers traceable? The hacker's job is to infect your computer and steal personal information. However, you can prevent any damage by having an up-to-date antivirus program. When the antivirus program stops a virus or any similar malware, you will see a list of the harmful attacks that were prevented. There you can see the attacker's IP address. Next, you will have to open up an IP mapping service so you can see where the attacker is located. Below are 2 websites where you can precisely locate someone with an IP address. The last step will be to report the case to the FBI. There are a couple more organizations where you can report the hacker's IP address to also. However, by doing so, you will alert experts about these attacks in order to put a stop to the hackers. How will the security landscape evolve in the next couple of years? In the past couple of years, the cybercrimes have increased tremendously. There are many viruses that were made to irritate people to those that let the attacker have access to someone's computer. There are thousands of attacks that occur from all over the world with an intention to steal information. The hackers will always find a way to breach into a company if they keep trying. Many companies with top security have been victims of security breaches such as Home Depot, Sony, Dropbox, and many more. The companies need to develop very quickly and fast-track the technology in order to help improve and focus to prevent future security breaches that will affect millions of people from having their personal information stolen. The attacks to the huge companies are just the beginning, and if the hackers are capable of attacking the so-called secure companies, then they are probably not going to stop until they obtain the info they want.